The woman who owns a Dalton home that she leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now she wants her out.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard has a new battle on her hands.
She is being evicted for not paying her rent, and now her landlord is talking about her past tenant troubles.
At some point, you would have to understand that karma is going to catch up to you.
BBS, the woman who owns a Dalton home that she leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent and now she wants her out. Mayor Tiffany Henyard has a new battle on her hands. She is being evicted for not paying her rent and now her landlord is talking about her past tenant troubles. At some point, you would have to understand that karma is going to catch up to you. Just it's a power grab that's at power and there's no shortage of corrupt politicians draining this country dry, but Tiffany Henyard has truly taken things to a whole new level. Before she was spectacularly booted out of her own home, Henyard seemed to revel in her untouchable image and the world lived for that historic moment a few months ago. She was partying it up in Vegas, living large while hardworking folks on the council were getting the boot, but lo and behold, karma doesn't forget. The tables turned in a way no one could have predicted. The video capturing her downfall, it's not just viral, it's a statement about accountability or lack thereof, and now it begs the question, what more consequences would Tiffany have to face? Tiffany Henyard, the self-proclaimed super mayor. She certainly lives up to her title, at least when it comes to appearances. Since stepping into office, Henyard's lifestyle seems to have undergone a dramatic upgrade, dressed to the nines with a police detail worth over $1 million and personal grooming expenses hitting nearly $8,000 for hair and makeup alone. She positively looks like she's swimming in money. Her spending doesn't stop at beauty services. She's been racking up tabs at first-class flights, luxury hotels, high-end restaurants, and other lavish indulgences. One memorable trip to Las Vegas alone saw her dropping $8,400 on hotels, $600 on a steakhouse meal, and a staggering $3,700 on just her round-trip flight. Tiffany Henyard wasn't just living the high life, she was flaunting it. All that money she was throwing around, it wasn't hers. Yes, folks, you guessed it, it was taxpayer dollars funding her extravagant escapades. While residents of Dalton, Illinois were struggling with day-to-day challenges, their mayor was busy jet-setting, dining in style, and putting herself on campaign billboards to the tune of over $1 million. And now karma seems to be catching up with her amid investigations into her reckless use of village funds. Henyard isn't just fighting for her political survival, she's also about to lose her home. Court documents reveal that Henyard and her boyfriend Kamal Woods have been skipping out on their rent payments entirely since August, when their landlord raised the rent. The couple is now $3,350 past due. And instead of addressing the situation, Henyard reportedly refused to allow the inspection of the property. The landlord, clearly fed up, decided it was time to take action with an eviction notice filed on September 18. Henyard's days in her lavish residence seem numbered, so now I have to pay a special process service in order to get them served, which is more fees for me. Says she. It's not like she doesn't have access to money, mind you. It's just that she and Kamal apparently have their priorities right. Luxury trips and excessive spending come first. Paying rent is well optional in their world now. The very mayor who billed taxpayers nearly $8,000 for her glam squad is finding herself in a less than glamorous predicament. The trouble started this summer when Hull was forced to raise the rent by $200, bringing it to $2,400 a month. The increase came after her property taxes surged again, leaving her no choice but to adjust the rent to make ends meet. But instead of paying the difference, Woods reportedly claimed he couldn't afford it by August. Henyard and would stop paying rent altogether. Hull confirmed the worst: no payment for August, September, or October. And if that wasn't bad enough, the couple reportedly changed the locks and garage door code, leaving Hull locked out of her own property. Hull now faces a grim reality. If she attempts to regain access with a locksmith, she fears Henyard could have her arrested. Frustrated and financially strapped, Hull turned to the courts, filing an eviction lawsuit. But even this process has been anything but smooth. Despite multiple attempts, Cook County sheriffs haven't been able to serve Henyard or Woods with the notice, both at their home and at Village Hall. Hull has resorted to hiring a processed server to track them down, adding even more strain to her precarious situation. Hull, who hasn't worked in several months, is now at risk of losing her house due to the couple's refusal to pay rent, with no communication from Henyard, who reportedly blocked her landlord months ago. Hull is left between a rock and a hard place, Hull said, expressing the frustration and disbelief shared by many Dalton residents watching this fiasco unfold. At some point, you would have to understand that karma is going to catch up to you, just even if Henyard and Woods come up with the money Hull has made. It clear she wants them out for good on a month-to-month lease. Henyard's days in the home are numbered. This eviction battle isn't just about unpaid rent. It's a microcosm of the controversy surrounding Henyard's leadership, with mounting allegations of reckless spending of taxpayer dollars, blocked transparency efforts, and an ongoing FBI investigation. Her time on the spotlight is turning into a spectacle of unbridled mismanagement. The couple: I don't think the money is worth it. The cash up front, it's not worth it. I would have rather rent it to someone who you know is an honest person and goes to work every day. And that's not the only storm brewing for Henyard. On top of her personal eviction drama, she's facing mounting scrutiny over her handling of Dalton's finances. Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is leading an investigation that revealed the Dalton Village General Fund is running a deficit of $3.65 million. To make matters worse, the FBI has launched a probe into the administration, with allegations ranging from wrongful termination lawsuits to indirect involvement in an SA case. Even her position as Thornton Township supervisor isn't safe. Trustees are calling for transparency regarding her spending, and residents are speaking out about what they described as her blatant misuse of power. Business owner Lawrence Gardner has alleged that his trucking company, among others, was compelled to make $3,500 donations to Henyard's campaign to secure village licenses. When he stopped donating, his license was conveniently denied. Gardner, along with several other residents, has reportedly been interviewed by the FBI as part of its investigation into the Dalton administration. And let's not forget her charity, Tiffany Henyard Cares, which recently came under fire from the Illinois Attorney General's office for failing to provide financial reports. A cease and desist letter has been issued, adding yet another layer of controversy to her already scandal-ridden tenure. Said, "We believe was very important to come before the members of the public so you would have some context for what the current state of your finances are." Henyard, of course, denies any wrongdoing. Her spokesperson claims there's no knowledge of any FBI investigation, subpoenas, or contact from law enforcement. But with multiple lawsuits, an ongoing federal probe, and now an eviction notice looming over her, the so-called super mayor may need to come up with a new title, one that better reflects the precarious reality she's facing. Tiffany Henyard is in a world of trouble, and while her name has become synonymous with controversy, people can't help but wonder how long can she keep holding on to her position as mayor of Dalton, with her political career hanging by a thread and her reputation crumbling. The question on everyone's mind is, how much longer can she continue to leech off Dalton while chaos surrounds her? The drama reached a boiling point during the Democratic caucus to select nominees for Thornton Township's leadership roles, including the prized position of supervisor. For the first time in 30 years, a caucus rep the usual primary election process, and surprise, surprise, Tiffany Henyard couldn't even get her name on the ballot. All candidates were required to present a full slate of 8 individuals, including a supervisor, highway director, clerk, assessor, and 4 trustees. Henyard's slate fell apart because she failed to include a certified assessor, a basic requirement that disqualified her instantly. And then, y'all will get more interviews out of me. As long as y'all good to me, I'll be good to you. I have no issues. I just wanted people to say my side of the story and not just paint me as bad news, cause it's not the truth, and y'all been witnessing it yourselves at the sea." What happened next was nothing short of a political meltdown. State Senator Napoleon Harris, who also serves as the Thornton Township Democratic Committee man, took advantage of the situation, orchestrating the caucus that ended Henyard's bid for re-election as supervisor. The crowd voted overwhelmingly in Harris's favor, leaving Henyard completely sidelined. But this is Tiffany Henyard we're talking about. She wasn't going to accept defeat. Quietly dressed in a hot pink outfit that was as bold as her defiance, she stormed the caucus venue, yelling at Harris and his team, "You didn't run none of this the right way, illegal Napoleon," she screamed, accusing him of orchestrating an unfair process. Harris said the use of such a caucus is in no way outdated. People in Thornton Township may be new to caucuses because they haven't had them in a while, but this has been the tradition for many other townships around the state. To prove her point, she brought in busloads of her supporters, using Thornton Township resources to ensure a crowd, but even that backfired spectacularly. Many of the buses arrived late, and with the venue already filled to capacity, her supporters were left outside in the cold. Inside, the situation spiraled further as Harris officially claimed the nominati